I'm Jimi Hendrick, and this episode is EA 76. Don't sell out your values on Empower Your Pattern 2.0. Hi, I'm Jimi Hendrick, member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Success, Confidence, and Thrive Coach. I wish to let you know that there are patterns to help you receive more, help you live a better and extraordinary life right now. I also believe that there are spiritual and temporal tips to help you overcome the adversities in everyday life. So if you come with me, I will show you these patterns. Get ready. Let's go. I want you to step inside of the Empower Your Pattern Clubhouse. Welcome to the podcast, everybody. Step inside the clubhouse. We've improved our furnishings. The place is getting bigger. It is such a blessing to be with you guys on a Sunday morning. I don't typically podcast on Sunday. However, this is kind of a spiritual message, but that also deals with the enterprise of America. So why don't we come on in to the back office of the clubhouse and just talk, okay? Have a nice little discussion. You know, it's something how I came up with this. In 2018, when I began podcasting, Empower Your Pattern 2.0, I mentioned, my friend Bishop Dave and his wife Emily. Well, one of Emily's brothers wanted me to change the name of the show and get corporate sponsors. And Emily told me, she said, Jimmy, that is not you. That's not being true to you. She said, I wouldn't do that. And I said, no, I'm not going to be a sellout. No, I'm not going to be sell out to products and stuff that I don't totally believe in, that I'm not willing to sell, or try to promote myself, And so that is really the gist of what we're talking about today. Well, it's hard to really know where to begin. JR's with me in the clubhouse. I'm going to let him probably take over some of it. But here we go, guys, if you're ready. Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. It's one thing I hate is being a sellout. Unless it's being a sellout to God and Jesus Christ. That's just all there is to it. And I'll tell you something. You sell out to God and Jesus Christ and work with them, then you can be true to them, which is most importantly, but also being true to you. And I'm gonna say, I think being a Christian is one of the best ways to be true to you. Now, some people may get mad at me and say, "Well, JR, you're all wet behind the ears. You guys are supposed to reach out to a wider audience." But, well, it's a Sunday morning, and, well, Jimmy and I dictate the news. the info that's coming today. Jimmy kind of waters it down a little bit during the week, but not today. Yeah, that's the thing. And I hope you guys are ready for this fun here. Yeah, Jimmy gets emotional here. He knows I got his back. And thank you, JR. I think I can take over from here. But, being a sellout is a bad thing for business. Too many people have sold out themselves out for causes I think that's going to do them in business. Okay? Now, yes. I am partially sold myself out for, the company of ACN. But that's because the people that I met in my team with ACM were good Christian people with a good Christian message. Okay? And that's the thing. That's the thing. The fun we can have. The fun that each of us can have. Praise the Lord. Because He cares about us. Because He loves us. And He stands with us. Now, here in a minute, I'm going to give you the 3 points. Here in about maybe, about 5 minutes. We're going to hit the 3 points that help you work with not selling out. Because it can be, in some ways, it can be easy to be sell out. But say you're into the networking space, okay? And you guys know what I'm talking about. The home-based business franchising, right? Well then, yeah. As long as the services are true to who you are, and that you believe in them, that they can provide a great value to the marketplace, plus help you stay true to your values, then boom, there you are. One such service that I can call myself to believe in is impact health sharing, because they go by the commandment which says to love thy neighbor. It's a commandment that is in the law of Moses, but more importantly, it's a commandment that's in the higher law of Jesus Christ. Now, if you expect me to podcast on a Sunday morning, business related, and not talk about the elements of faith, and then you're sadly mistaken. Same thing if people want me to speak at a venue on Sunday. Go to be frank with you. Unless I can talk about my faith and use the scriptures, well then, don't even bother to ask me. Don't even bother to ask me, because it's stupid. It's stupid. You don't want to play in that stupid game, right? You're smart. You know. You know, I think about my buddy Keith. I think it angered him sometimes to hear about some celebrities who sold themselves out, maybe for causes that they don't believe in, or even they betrayed values that he felt like was, sensible, like modesty. And modesty is a value. And he, my BFE, he told me, he said, Jimmy, there's this actress that I used to love. She was good in movies and stuff. But then she did some certain actions in a movie that I thought was lewd and awful. And he says, now I have no respect for her whatsoever. It's one thing I loved about him. He was such a good friend and such a good instrument. Can you believe we're already near a minute and a half, maybe a little bit shy, where we go ahead and go through the first principle. But I wanted to get this introductory material over with. See, modesty was something he believed in. I mean, he was single. And yes, he was blind. And he said he wouldn't mind looking at a woman if they were decently, modestly dressed. He could admire, the beauty of a woman. But then they cheap, and with my buddy Keith, that was it. You sold out. He didn't have any respect for you. And so that's the thing. Don't be a sellout. I'm not. Okay, that kind of stuff kind of makes me angry. And so here we are. We're going to go into part 1. I told you, this is going to be kind of a lengthy podcast. But, guys, here's the thing. Are you ready for part number 1? Okay, number 1. The commandments are there before you. Never sell out what you believe. I'll give it John 14:15. Let me look and see. I get my church app out. You know how I am. Especially on a Sunday morning. Not gonna sell myself out and just talk about business when I'm not talking about the Lord. And especially in this case, his preaching here. Here it is. John chapter 14, verse 15. If you love me, keep my commandments. Let's think about this. We have to be able to know that God loves us. But that means that we also need to follow him as the standard of righteousness. And that means to follow our duty to be in obedience to his commandments. To make the commitment to do so and to have some good works. Right? I mean, this is not something that I would want to play around with. The commandments are before you, right? Well, I'm actually going to get up here, put in a little effort. I got a copy somewhere. I believe it's in here. Yes. I got some paper scriptures here. I want you to think about it, okay? If you want to know what his commandments are, get into the scriptures. Oh, it feels different. It feels good sometimes to walk away from having to read it digitally. Sometimes it feels good to read it physically. Brings a blessing to our lives. Right? And he loves us. And he wants us to keep his commandments. Let me tell you something. You guys know how much I love the Lord. And how I will not sell myself out and my values out to products, services, or causes that I can't believe in that share similar values. Because, let me tell you something. This world has gone crazy with our distractive, defiant culture trying to get us in some ways to be sellouts. To be cogs in the system. Do you want to keep playing that? Well, I certainly hope not. Because I tell you something, you're worth it. You're every bit worth it. And I'm gonna tell you something. You need to be thanking God for those commandments. Because I tell you something, that's what's saving your bacon. That is what's saving your bacon. Because you think about the big prize. The beginning of the pursuit of this second golden nugget. And it'll become clear the closer we get what it is. But it involves not selling out. Not selling out your values. It can be easy the way the world system is to sell out. Let me give you some advice. Don't even play that. Like I said, back to my BFE, Brian Keith Cotton. I just knew him as Keith. I think the one thing he could not stand was a sellout. If a person was genuine and keeping to his values, yeah, Keith loved that person. And Keith loved to have a good time as much as anybody else. And we shared some good times. We knew each other for about 15 and a half years. And we were close friends for about 11 of those 15. But I tell you something. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that he taught me some more values. To not just sell out. To not just say, oh, the corporates will take care of me. They're patting me to make me rich. I can just say what they want to and keep going on. Let me tell you something. That's not even trying, and that was another one of his pet peeves. I remember there were times we were playing a table game, and I would be losing and not even trying, and well, in his eyes, yes. And maybe it was the truth, I don't know, but it's like he would stop the game, and he would confront me. He said, Jimmy, do you know what you're doing? He said, you're losing and you're not even trying. He said, I want you to try to beat me, okay? Try to bring in some competition, put a little bit more of your game on, dude. Come on, let's go. And that's the same thing with the commandments. The Lord expects us to do our best. And doing our best means we don't sell out to anybody but Him. Yeah, we can promote certain products and services that we believe in, but let's not promote stuff that that is contrary to your values. You don't want to play that. I feel like it's a losing game. It's a losing game where you might as well just not even try. Yeah, leaving the clubhouse here. I'm going to give you guys the next 24 minutes. I got a couple more kernels. But I'll tell you something, guys. This is where the blessing is. The commandments teach you one thing. And that is integrity. Let me tell you something. Being raised in part by my maternal grandfather, let me tell you something. He drilled into us in integrity. He put the fear of God in us about lying. And, today's society's like, oh, it don't matter, just tell a little white lie, you'll be okay. But you know what? You even as much as tell a white lie, you get bit. Yeah, you didn't think I was going to be talking about integrity, huh? Well, we are. We are. Because when it comes to not being a sellout, I am not going to float around. And let me tell you something, neither should you. Neither should you. You shouldn't play around when it comes to that too. Now, a little over a minute, we're going to go to the second key. And this is one thing that's going to keep us from completely selling out. All right? This is really, to me, it's the beginning of the mother load. Well, the commandments are not something to be floating around with. But this part here, I'm just being honest with you. This part hits home. And I want you to be ready for it. Because the second part, little woodshed, a little discipline. So, okay, you remember the father-son dynamic? I'm your success, confidence, and thrive coach, and you guys are rolling in for a little father-son coachly counsel. Okay, number 2. Strive to do that which is honorable. Do only what is true to God and true to you. Okay. I believe it's 2 Corinthians 8:21. Let's go there. I can get technology to work. Let's go there. Yeah. Okay. Chapter 8. Okay, verse 21. Providing for honest things, not only in the sight of the Lord, but also in the sight of men. Providing for honest things. Honesty. And my granddad always taught me when I was a teenager, he said, boy, let me tell you something, a man is only good if he is honest as the day is long. It's not only in the sight of the Lord, but in the sight of men. How faithful, and really this goes back into, don't reward, evil for evil. Saying true for yourself. And, honesty, I think mixed with forgiveness. We become a sellout. I don't think that you're prone to forgive. And I could be in danger of doing that myself. It's funny, I was doing some spiritual warfare yesterday because I was extremely lonely. But then God reminded me, he said, Jimmy, you're going to be preaching tomorrow about don't be a sellout. Well, you don't be a sellout just because you're just lonely or depressed. And you know what? He turned it around. He turned it around. And it was a beautiful way that he turned it around. He helped me see that, yes, I can be a blessing. And things can be great, right? I know it is. So here in about a little less than 5 minutes, I'm going to give you the third cue. But you got to keep your honor. JR wants to come out and play. Well, integrity and honor is key. And in Texas, we protect honor. We really do. I mean, Jimmy and I feel the same way about that. Honesty, integrity. Let me tell you something. If you got a granddad out there that has been teaching you these values, and maybe that granddad was an entrepreneur, whether he was a car mechanic or a rancher or whatever, and he taught you them values, not just by what he said, but what he did at home, at his business, whatever it is. Because I tell you something, the Lord loves you, but you need to be true to Him. That's the most important, and to be true to you. I mean, that's just something we don't play around with, if you know what I mean. Jimmy's giving me some leeway to kind of play around with, and so I think I'm gonna bring it back over to him. Yes, because we have about 3 minutes before I give you the third cue, and I just want you to know I'm very excited about how this episode is building up. Now, the next episode tomorrow is going to be going through just mechanics for the networking and home-based franchise. Hey, if you know what I mean. So I want you to be ready. Be ready to I want you to be ready to be true to you. And being true to the Lord, that's the most important part. Let me tell you something. And I don't think you can be true to you if you're not true to God, okay? That's just me just laying it down and preaching to you guys here on this Sunday morning. Because you don't want to play around. And neither do I. We don't want to be sellouts. And so, just me coming to you this Sunday morning, which is very rare for this business and personal development podcast, but it's because I can take what I'm teaching and the scriptures and salt and pepper it to my teaching. And I know you guys will just love it. But we got around to that. We are approaching the 1 minute mark. And well, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and give it. Why not? Watch what you say. And say it with integrity. Okay. 1 Peter chapter 3, verses 10 through 12. Are you guys ready? Well, I figure you are. This is some kernels of wisdom here. We're going to go down to verse 10. For he that will love life and see good days, let him refrain his tongue from evil, and his lips that they speak no guile. Well, guile is actually deceit, okay? It's King James thing. Verse 11. Let him turn away evil and do good. Let him seek peace and ensue it. For the eyes of the Lord are over the righteous, and his ears are open unto their prayers. But the face of the Lord is against them that do evil. And I'm going to say this, but we're just going to close this out. I don't think it's right inside the Lord, if you're a good Christian entrepreneur, to sell yourself to a product or service that you know is contrary to your values. And sometimes I feel like I got to take a good hard look at myself in the mirror and ask myself, am I being true to myself? Am I watching the words that I say? Because I tell you something, this ain't easy, but you know what? Once you have attained to those three things, and you're able to hold on to your integrity and your core values. You remember the last episode? We talked about core values and everything. Well, these are the three pillars that are going to help you hold on to those core values. And sometimes it can be tricky, I know, but you know what? That's where the blessing comes in. That's where the blessing comes in. And guys, if you keep this, you're worthy of the blessing. Now with that, I hope you enjoy listening to Empower Your Pattern 2.0. If you like what you hear, please subscribe. Become a part of the Pattern Realm. Till next time, do what others don't so you can be what others won't. And do what others won't so you can have what others can't. And please share this with Mama San, Papa San, and everyone. Until Jimi Hendrix saying, until next time, choose, act, and pursue happiness. God bless every one of you. God bless you.